I'll sing until my lungs give out. You're beautiful.
What's up, Day2D fam? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling out there?
Yeah. We back!
We back. No, for real. We back. Like, we for real back. I know we said
we've been back like 2 times already.
Yeah, we've been back twice. But we back for real.
No, we back this time.
For real. Okay, y'all be ready with the videos, okay? Be ready. But, yeah, so you guys, we're back. Thank y'all so much for all the love, the patience, and the support. And, you know, in all honesty... Y'all been in the comments and y'all was just like, what's up?
They what is like, y'all went to Colorado and y'all never came back.
Yeah, and then when you did come back, you ain't come back.
We came back one time, we came back twice, and we went away again. You know?
Yeah, and so we just kind of want to take a moment to just kind of talk about it. I know I mentioned in the previous videos that we were going to talk about, you know, what's been going on, catch you guys up. And,
oh, you did say that too.
Yeah, so I'm like, I feel like, you know, Freddie and I were like, we're at a place where we can kind of, you know, dabble into that a little bit and just tell you guys what's up, what's been going on, because we have been going through something, but it wasn't probably what you think it is, or I don't even know what you think it is, but it's not negative. If that's where your mind was, it's nothing negative. It's all positive. It's all been such a blessing. And you know, we kind of were just kind of like trying to get to a point where we can sit down and talk about it and not rush through it, because I told y'all sometimes I just be spazzing out, like I just talk so fast, I'll just run through things. So we want to take a moment to sit down, because this is very important to us that, you know, we tell y'all what's up, okay? Y'all been asking, so here it is. So I guess we can kind of start with what happened from Colorado, because that's kind of like where everything, that's where everything just kind of took a turn, is when we came back from Colorado. Everybody was like, what happened? Y'all went to Colorado, had a great time, and then no more videos came out. So, but we left for like 2 months. Let's just talk about what happened when we came back from Colorado. So, Colorado, let's start there. Let's start with, you know, kind of like what happened all around that time frame. So, right before we went to Colorado, you guys were getting videos back to back. We were recording like 5 days a week, had videos coming out. You guys got used to the consistency of the videos. And then we went to Colorado and we came back and that was it. Like, so what happened was, I would say during the time that we was at Colorado, we were recording like every day.
Even before we went to Colorado, we was vlogging like every day, and then we went to Colorado and we was vlogging every day. So when we got back, we had like what, like 6 or 7 videos.
We had enough videos to take a break.
Yeah, so when we got back home, once I edited all the videos, I was like, oh, we got like a whole week's worth of videos, so we can just kind of chill now. We can take a break and, you know, relax. And so as y'all was watching those videos, we were just chilling. We was on our own little
vacation. Yeah. But mind you, we love making videos. We love making content. And a lot of the reason as to why we made so many videos on that trip was mainly for us and our family, because we like recording those things, especially when it's our first at something, if that makes sense. It was our first time in Colorado. Never been to Colorado before.
Seen snow.
That was a big one for me. I wanted to, if I had
so we tried to capture footage, every moment if that's possible.
If I had enough memory cards, I would have just kept that thing going on a 24-hour time lapse, because I had never experienced something like that before. We got to see the snow come down out the sky.
Snow while we was there. So.
I lived in Florida all my life, never seen nothing like that. Listen, we was recording everything, okay?
Yeah, so we recorded everything, you guys, and once we got back, we had like a whole week. I think we had like 6 or 7 videos of.
Yeah,
I think I put it into like 4 or 5 or something like that. But
yeah, we had like a whole.
We had enough to post for the whole weekend, so we decided, hey, we're gonna take a break, and that's what we did.
Yeah. And so while y'all were watching the videos, we were home. We were already home by the time those videos
everything
came out.
Was well. Wasn't nothing going on. I know some people are like, did y'all come back?
Good thing we did shoot when we came back. We did that video, letting you know we made it safely.
But yeah, so after that, it was kind of like we took a break, and then we were like, oh, let's just take another break. You know, we were just chilling, you know, and then I think that's when you got to see a whole school, and school
started back up, and it was very busy. This particular term required a lot more of my time and energy. I had like projects every week, Zoom calls, like, because they wanted to do like kind of like a in-class online type thing, so it took up a lot of my time, and I really wanted to just make sure that I was focused on it, because it was something that was very important to me. So we were already on break, and we just kind of like extended it during that time.
It was good. It was
a good break. So that's kind of like how the break initially began. Now it ended up continuing because during that time, I would say, like, while, you know, we were on our break, videos was out, I was in school, and then the videos kind of stopped coming out. We were also like kind of doing something with our hobby, kind of dabbling a little bit more with our hobby.
Yeah.
For those of you that's been on the channel for a while, you guys know Freddie and I, we have lots of hobbies. I was like, but you know, the one hobby that we both share, that we're both like 100% like in love with, is when it comes to the real estate market. And we kind of did a little bit more dibbling and dabbling with that. Just a little backstory, like, you want to talk about like what happened like 2 years ago for those that are new, because we kind of got some new D2D fam that don't know what we did. But
the pool?
No, with our house. 2 years ago with this house, what we did.
Yeah, so we tried to, we didn't try, but we
did.
we put the house on the market about 2.5 years ago. It was about 2, maybe 3 years. Well,
Probably.
It's coming on 3 years.
Yeah.
So about 2.5 years ago, we decided to list the house for sale. We was looking to, you know, upgrade the space, get a bigger space or whatever, but it didn't work out in our favor. I mean, if you want to go back and look at it, we got videos on it or whatever.
Probably put an iCard somewhere or link it down below.
Yeah, so we decided to take the house out the market, and then we decided to build a pool.
Yes.
So that's the pool that you guys see in the backyard.
Yes.
And, you know,
The Davis Oasis.
So we decided to build a pool after we didn't sell our house, and then, you know, we've been enjoying the pool ever since. But in the back of our mind, we knew that we wanted to upgrade our space in the future.
Yeah, we knew that at some point.
Yeah, we knew
we were gonna try it out again.
Yeah, of course.
We were gonna dibble dabble again.
Yeah.
And
so it's been about almost 3 years now. So
yeah,
and we started kind of, what you say, dibbling dabble.
Dibbling dabble. We did. We kind of started dibbling dabbling
so.
in the real estate hobby. Like, we've always been into it. Y'all know we go looking at houses, and we're always on the house tour, getting
house tours
inspiration. Like, you know, like,
and we do that on and off the camera. So a lot of times we do it. We may not even record it. We've been doing this since 2011.
Probably prior to that. Well, no, 2011 is when it started, because that's when we got the first house. And that's when we started really looking into it.
I'm trying to let you know, this ain't something we just do for YouTube. It's something we do. This is something we enjoy. This is our bond, you know.
Yeah, so I think we made a video about that too, about why we do it, and we went more in depth into the whole background story.
Yeah.
There's so many videos we can link. We need a playlist. But yeah, you can look at that too.
That's our little bond that we have, you know, as our little hobby, and you know, so we started to dibble and dabble again over the last couple of weeks, and
we found out. We started looking at it, and we started to learn about the market that we're in right now.
Yeah,
versus what it was back then.
Yeah, anybody who own a home right now, they know the market is very hot right now. If you guys watch the Finding Forrester, they recently sold their home, and we know people personally who recently sold their home, and the market is just, it's hot. And it's like
a seller's market.
Yeah,
right
it's a seller's market right now. You get top dollar right now, even over asking and stuff right now. So. Yeah. We started to get a little curious about, you know, what we can get for our houses. So we start reaching out to we start reaching out to realtors, and, you know, just inquiring about, you know,
what our house would be going for.
Yeah,
like what market is, you know, where does our house land in the market? And in all honesty, you know, a couple of them, they reached back to us and they told us, like, you know, what our house would be worth, really. And, you know, what it was worth now compared to what it was worth those 2 years ago. I can honestly say I'm glad I waited.
Night and day.
Night and day. Glad I did not sell. Thank you, Lord. It was a blessing that it didn't happen. It was a blessing in disguise. Sometimes his no be a yes. You just don't know when it's happening. But yes, it was like a little blessing in disguise. So we found out, you know, a few weeks back what our house was worth, and we really started to, you know, inquire about it. And we were like, you know what? If our house is valued at this, what does that mean for us? What can we do with this? So then that's when we really started to like get more into the hobby.
That's when the break started, right there.
That's when the whole we not back happened.
Yeah, no, this was before the back. This was before we came back. We was just like, let's.
But no, I tried to come back, but those videos never made it because I didn't.
We started, but we just never really finished the vlog. But then we started like just doing a lot of research and what ifs, and, you know, those different type of scenarios and stuff, you know, and it was real. It was real.
Yeah. And so once we found out, like once we found out exactly what the house was worth, and we started to think about what we could do with it, we started to try to formulate a plan of, okay, if we sell our house, what are we going to do? And so we thought about, you know, maybe going back to this one particular neighborhood that we really loved. Back when we first
go back to the city that we came from.
Yeah, the city, the neighborhood. Y'all know we used to live like right across the street from Miss Miriam, and you know, we tend to talk about that part of our life a lot because we still see it. You know, we still go to Miriam's house, we still visit her, and the house is right there. So there was another neighborhood in that same city near her that we used to want to live in back then, but we just couldn't afford it.
Yeah, it was back in 2012, 2013.
Yeah, 2013. We wanted to try and go in that neighborhood, but it just was out of our price range at the time. And now with this new hot market, you know, we were like, hey,
it's not even just the market. That was back before we got into careers and stuff.
Well, that too, yeah.
But I mean, this do make it easy. I'm not gonna lie, it makes it a lot easier. But I don't want to make sense. That's the reason, though. You know
well, yeah, true. But you know, like I said, we found out how much our house was worth. We realized that, you know, we could do something with this equity, and what do we want to do? And one of the first initial thought was, you know what, let's, you know, if we sell our home, let's go see, you know, what the houses look like in this neighborhood that we really used to want to live in. This city was very prestigious, and you know, back in the days when we were first starting out, we didn't make enough to live here, we didn't have enough to live here, and now we're at a place in our life where we can afford to live in that type of neighborhood. It wouldn't be, you know, outside of our realm to do so. So just to give you an idea of what this type of neighborhood is, because for those of you that's just tuning in, we live in Florida, and this particular neighborhood is one of those where it's not in an HOA community. It's open. It's very nice homes, but they're a little bit older, but they have a lot of land, and that's something that, well, not a lot of land, but they got more land than what we have here. And it's, you know, in certain areas of Florida, you don't get that, if that makes sense.
We call it the old school neighborhoods. Before the gated community thing became like such a thing, like that's how they build nowadays.
Yeah, now it's gated communities, which I have no problem with. Obviously, we live in one, but you know, certain things you can't have here in these type of communities, and it's not a negative or anything like that. It's just know where you're at, you know, know the type of community that you're moving into before you move into it. And we knew it when we moved in here.
We wanted it.
And now we want something else.
So our lifestyle is changing. Like, you know, I said we had the boats and the jet skis, and I want, you know, the motorcycles and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you kind of need a little bit more space for that type of stuff.
We definitely need more space, so you want to continue that type of lifestyle, you know. So. Yeah.
So we went back to that city. We saw it. You know, we realized that, oh my God, we can afford it. But then when we started to look at the homes and the amount of work, I guess, I don't know how to explain it, but the home is itself, because of where it is, are worth so much because of where it is, because of the location. I know if you watch HGTV, you hear them say location, location, location. Well, here in this area, that location matters so much that a home that doesn't look like this,
the home can be built in the 90s, no upgrades, and the city
worth more than this home right here with the pool and all.
So in this particular neighborhood, you have homes that's built in the 90s or whatever the case is.
Kind of look like the 90s.
Got the original cabinets, old
original
carpets,
tiles,
and it's still worth more than the home that's just being built today. With the nice quartz counters and granite counters and, you know, all that good stuff, you know what I'm saying?
And so knowing that we can afford it, it was like, okay, we can afford it as is, but you know, knowing me and Freddie, and we have a little bit of background and renovations, because our first house we renovated. We were trying to decide, you know, do we want to go back down that route again with renovating? Like, you know, is that something that we want to do? Because, you know, when you buy it and it look like this and it's worth that much, when you renovate it, it can be worth even more. But it's just, do you want to take that time and investment in doing that? And so we really had to think hard about it. So as we were thinking and trying to, you know, weigh out our options of if we want to do this, because none of these homes looked like what we wanted. It's just they had the bones of what we wanted. They were in the neighborhood.
It was in the bones. It was in the area that we wanted.
So we started weighing our options. Weighing our options is where we're at now. So we decided that, you know, by weighing our options, what we mean for that is we wanted to avoid tunnel vision.
Yeah, so instead of just looking at one particular neighborhood or city, we decided to let's look at everything. So
yes, all the options.
That's really what we've been doing these past few weeks.
In the past few weeks.
The past
during the time that we were away.
Yeah.
This is what we're leading up to. During the time that we were away, what were we doing? This is what we were doing. We had our options. So a big reason as to why that took up so much time for us is because in the past, like multiple times, we had tunnel vision. When we bought our first home, we had tunnel vision. We looked, but we didn't really look. Like our realtor suggested all these other areas that we could have moved to, and we chose not even to look at a good majority of them.
We kind of knew what we wanted, and we wanted that
one area, like that one city. Actually, we wanted to live in this particular city, and we didn't care how much bang or no bang we got for our buck because we wanted to be in this city. Now, mind you, if you already know what you want, good. But always, if I could go back and tell my 20-year-old self this, I would say, listen, sweetheart, go and look. That way you know what you're saying no to.
Yeah.
And we didn't learn that lesson the first time or the second time.
Even we came here, we left our house. We was like, we want to move here in this neighborhood, in this house. Like we didn't look.
We didn't even look.
Yeah.
We looked less. This the second time.
We didn't even look. At least the first time we went to different houses. The second time we didn't look at all.
We sold our house and came here because we knew this is what we wanted.
Yeah, because we saw this model. We want this model in this neighborhood.
Freddie drove by and was like, no, you had a friend that lived here. Before we moved here, you had a friend that lived here, and that's how we even came here. So it wasn't even like you were looking and you found it. No, you came here to give somebody, like, you went to visit a friend or whatever, and that was it. You was sold. You ain't even looked nowhere else. You just came here, visited a friend, and was like, okay, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And so although I would say we did make good investments in those homes because we knew the area itself, we did research on the area itself, we never looked outside of that. So this time we were like, you know what, as much as we want to live in this prestigious neighborhood that we saw, we know that, it'll give us, we know that if we invest our money in this particular but in this particular home, if it's worth this much looking like that, just imagine if we make it half of this, it'll be worth even more. And we always kind of look at homes in that way sometimes. And sometimes because we look at homes in that way, it gives us tunnel vision and we don't really see outside of it. So this time we told ourselves, as much as we think we want to do this, let's look. Let's look outside of just that realm. And by doing so, we learned a lot. So one of the things that we did was we said, okay, let's look at this prestigious homes. We know what we get if we go here. We know what it's going to take. We got to, put money into this. We're going to end up having to put more money into this if we do this. Even though we can afford it now, in order for us to live in it the way we want to live,
the way we want to keep it,
the way we like it, we're going to have to put some money into this. So let's explore some other options to make sure that it's worth our money to do this. Let's make sure we want to do this. So then we went and we started looking at some new construction builds that are not in those neighborhoods, because in our area they are always building new construction. As y'all see,
communities always around.
New construction communities, gated communities, HOAs,
like the ones that we do with the house tours. Like, those everywhere. You can
literally at least every year, if not every 6 months or so. There's a bunch of communities right now we got to show y'all. We already done looked at them because I'm telling you, we was doing research. But wait till y'all see these. So we were looking at them and not just in our little igloo box anymore. We looked outside of our box. We looked outside of our comfort zone. We looked outside of our area. We looked at other areas, other cities, other counties. Like, we just looked everywhere to see what's out there because we did not want to have tunnel vision. And I'm so happy that we did. I wish I had took the opportunity to look in the past, because I could have made some really good investments back then. But anyways, so we explored the idea of, building outside of our city, building outside of our county, our comfort zone. And then we also explored this other opportunity that we never actually knew. This is our first time learning about it. And it's the custom builders.
Custom build, like you building a custom house, or you decide I wanted this long, that, like,
not this. I don't know what the difference between what this build is and that build is, like what the term is called.
What the community builds is kind of like you pick a model and then they build it for you. You pick the cabinets and the colors and all that. But this, it's a model, but you can rearrange it any way you want. You can put all the bedrooms on this side of the house, or you can flip and flop. You can do whatever you want to it.
this particular custom built type thing that we're looking at is a little different because yes, you're building a home just like you build this home, but like Freddie said, you get to move the pieces around in it. But not only that, but the biggest you get to pick where you build it at.
Yeah, that's about saying.
You can take this home and put it in what city you want, what county you want, what area you want. They will build the home in the location.
The custom build.
The custom build. Yeah. Versus this one, it's like, okay, you build it in a community. The community is already outlined what type of homes can be built where, and you just kind of picking out which box you want to put where you want to put it. And then you get to pick out the interior finishes. Whereas with this one, you get to pick out whatever home you want. You can design whatever home you want. They give you a blueprint. You can rearrange it, and you can put it.
It's only one catch though. You have to own the land.
You don't have to own the land. You have to have some land.
That's owning it.
Well, you can finance it.
That's
you can own
that's
it.
still
Well,
owning
yeah,
the land.
you gotta find the land.
You have to own the land to move the house. You can't just go to them and say, I want to move it here. No, you have to own the spot somewhere and put the house on. So whether you buying it cash or you financing or somebody passed it down to you in a family member or something,
you gotta have some land to put this home on.
Yeah, so you can't just go to the custom building like I want to move. Like they just did a bit of house. You tell them you want a house. You have to own the property.
You have to know. Like Freddie said, you have to basically own the property or the land in which you want to put it on. So that opened up a whole new world. I feel like a whole new world.
Yeah, so we started dabbling that, and then we started learning about buying land, and so we've been dabbling that over the past years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's kind of like.
So now we kind of been looking at land and
exploring land options, because that's something new. Doing our research on what it takes to buy land or finance land, or how do you get approved for this? What are the qualifications? What do you need? What are the steps for this? What's a soil test? Like all kinds of stuff. Luckily though, with the custom builders, especially the ones that we talked to, because we wanted to keep our options open, so we explored multiple custom builders.
And they walked through everything.
Yes,
they did a really good job. Yes. I didn't, even as much as I love real estate, I didn't know anything about it.
I knew that it was something that people got done, but I didn't understand how they did it. I didn't understand the process. As far as building a home, in my mind, when we built this home, that was building a home. I didn't understand when you build with a custom builder, meaning you hire your contractor to build the home you want to build, how that process works. Because that's a whole nother process and a whole nother animal. I don't even know how much to say. We're gonna get into that too.
But that's what we've been doing with that. We've been doing
learning
research and all that type of stuff.
All right, you guys. So that's pretty much kind of like a part of what had been going on during our break, and it, in all honesty, it gets deeper than this.
Yeah,
like
it gets a little juicier.
It's a little bit more juicier than what we just said, but this is kind of like giving you a idea of what we've been going through, and like Freddie said, it gets a little bit more deep. There's more to this story, but we don't want this video to be too long.
Like 20 minutes.
I don't even know. I lost count, but I can't even. But let's just say this.
Let's watch part 2.
Part 2 is the details, the D2 details, the juicy, the nitty gritty, the everything that you really want to know is happening in that one right there. Yeah. Okay, because that's like, it's still current. Yeah. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for part 2. Thank you for tuning in for part 1. I hope this covers at least a little bit of what's been going on. I think we kind of explained it good for the most part. Yeah,
do.
Anyways, if we didn't cover it all, you definitely finna get it all in part 2, because part 2 is like going more in depth about stuff that happened and that's currently still happening right now, kind of like where we are right now.
Ouch.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next video. Life is a day-to-day experience, so enjoy.